Yes, sir. My name is Mr. Cultus. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you? How can I help you?
I went to speak to my council member about an illegal arrest that happened to me. He started getting hostile with me.
Sir, I can't hear you. Sir, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You've lost audio. I can't hear you, sir. Okay, I cannot hear you.
I may have lost audio. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost audio. I can hear you now.
I lost audio with you. I'm sorry. So a cop illegally arrested me in the courthouse in 2023. I went to speak to my council member about it, and he started covering for the deputy. And I said, "Look, you're covering for him." And then he says, "Oh, I'm not covering for him, and you're not going to talk to me like that." He starts getting hostile with me, and so I said, "Look, you're getting hostile." And then he starts telling me that I'm hostile. I'm the one that's being hostile. So he says I was threatening. I never made any verbal threats to him at all.
Okay,
So
so how can we help you?
they called the police, and now there's a deputy here that I'm sure they're going to make up some BS about.
Okay, so there's a deputy currently at your are you at your house?
No, I am at the county council building, the administrative building.
But there's a deputy who's going to engage with you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, understood.
Yeah, a threat has to be a verbal, definitive threat, right? Like, I'm going to hurt you. You can't just say, "Oh, I felt threatened."
So not necessarily. There's a lot of ways a threat can be, but generally, yeah, unless you made some sort of like overt threat of any kind. Like obviously, like if you brandished a firearm or a knife.
No, I'm in the county building. Here's the problem.
I understand.
He starts telling me, "You're not going to talk to me." That I take that as hostile. So he started getting hostile with me, and I said, "Look, you're not going to cover for the sheriff." And then he says, "So now you're being hostile." And then he had the lady go call the sheriff's office. I don't understand why government officials think that they can talk to you any kind of way, but then if you talk to them that same way, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, it happens, and like I said, like there are ways you can make a threat that are not obviously they're not saying it out loud.
Right. But all I did was read to him the law. I read to him the claims that the deputy made, and then he refused to speak to me. I recorded some of it because he's like, "You're being hostile." I said, "I'm not being hostile," but he's the one that said, "I'm not going to sit here and argue with you." So
yeah. So again, if you didn't make any threat, you didn't make any threat. He obviously said a thing that was not true.
Who is this?
This is my attorney, man.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I'm not sure. They called you saying that I made some kind of threats to them.
No, he just said that you came in hollering at him.
I did not holler, ma'am. I went in there to ask about an illegal arrest that was conducted by you're the Saluda Police Department. Well, not your department, okay? Mm-hmm. The Sheriff's Department. So the Sheriff's Department illegally arrested me. Their deputy lost control of himself and threw a weapon on me, threatened to assault me with it in the courthouse. So I came here to ask him about that.
Okay.
And he starts telling me, "Oh, they can arrest you for, for being threatening." And I said, "I never threatened the deputy." Okay. And then he said, "Well, whatever he said." And I said, "Are you sticking up for the sheriff or whatever? Are you covering for the sheriff?" And he said, "You're not going to talk to me like that or whatever." So he started getting hostile with me. And I said, "Look, you are a representative. You are a public servant. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to serve the people." And he thought, "Well, I am an official. You're not going to talk to me like that." But I didn't do anything violent or threatening to him. Okay. And he called you all. I'm not sure why, to try to create some kind of, I'm thinking he's using you as a threat against my personal rights, against my First Amendment right. He's trying to falsify information to get you to threaten me, to deprive me of my First Amendment right.
What are you trying to do?
James Allen assaulted me in 2023.
Okay.
Falsified this report.
So they called you too?
They call you? So James Allen drew a weapon on me, threatened to assault me with it inside
the courthouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably know about that, right? Okay. Well,
I'm animal control.
Okay.
I don't really deal with all that.
Are you still there, sir? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. And can you hear them very well?
Yep. I can hear everything that's going on. We're good.
Okay, so this is the gist of it. He mentioned that, you know, you had a complaint, that he would talk to you as long as you are calm.
No, he told me he was going to talk to me. I sat down with him, and he started saying, oh, well, you know, they can arrest you for making threats. I said I didn't make any threats. And
but pretty much, why are you here? Are you trying to sue, or what's up?
I'm trying to get the council member. They control the sheriff's office's budget, right?
Correct.
They control the treasury. Correct. The sheriff's office, you guys are required. I don't know if it's an official thing, but every month before you receive your paycheck, you're supposed to swear an oath that you performed your duties diligently and in accordance with the law. Do you do that?
Sign off on my time sheet saying this is what I did.
Right, but according to the South Carolina law, apparently you're supposed to swear your oath every month that you performed your duties diligently and in accordance with the law. But if they violated the law, then you receive that pay in violation, and you
so
you
what are you
violated your oath.
Here?
Trying to get him to give me information about number one, whether or not the Treasury can seize the sheriff's office funds for failure to follow the Constitution and obey the law. They are the Treasury.
What's up with? Okay, you went from talking about you got assaulted by James Allen and all that.
Yeah.
Now you're up here just.
These guys control the Treasury.
I understand.
Your pay comes from the Treasury office.
So you're just here stirring stuff up.
No, I am here to find out if they can, because you have to sign for your pay. You have to officially.
Are you a Saluda County employee?
No.
Okay, so this is what I would advise you to do. Your attorney is on the phone. Just talk to your attorney and have him to handle it for you if you feel like your rights have been violated. And I am with the police department. Right. I am Lieutenant Weaver. Okay. So I'm advising you to speak with your attorney and let him deal with this. Because so the council is completely useless and is unwilling to perform their duties as council members. No, what he's saying is it was, you know, the meeting didn't go so well, and he just feel like it's just best for you to leave.
It feels like he tried to threaten me to deprive me of my rights, and that he's using you all as armed violent thugs to just kick anybody out of his office he disagrees with. Are you all sworn an oath to the Constitution of the United States, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
So when you draw a weapon on someone who is innocent, is that acceptable behavior? Is threatening someone with a weapon who hasn't committed any crime, is that acceptable behavior to you? Is threatening to show me what your weapon is for acceptable behavior?
What's going on? Start from the very beginning.
In 2023, Deputy James Allen drew a weapon on me in the courthouse, threatened to show me what it's for. I turned around. So we'll start from the very beginning. 2022, Miss Kayla Berry, are you familiar with her? She worked down in the auditor's office. She was falsifying records and giving herself overtime or whatever pay that she didn't work for. She was falsifying documents. In 2022, I did not receive my vehicle registration notification forms. Because I didn't receive those forms, I had to pay a fine, right? Because my mother-in-law got cancer. I wasn't really paying attention to the license plate on my truck. That wasn't top priority, you know? So missed the deadline. I had to pay a fine. Fine, I paid it. I talked to the DMV. The DMV told me that they don't send out the tax forms, that the county does that. 2023, my mother-in-law passed away from colon cancer. I took the title to her vehicle And again, I didn't receive my notification for my truck. We were dealing with her funeral and all that other stuff. So again, that lapsed because I never received any notification. So when I asked at the treasurer's office, hey, who's responsible for sending this paperwork out? She told me, just pay your bill on time. And I said, that's not the question that I asked. What's the name of the person that sends out the vehicle registration? Turns out it was Miss Kayla Berry, right? Probably wasn't sending them out because he was falsifying a bunch of other stuff, wasn't she? So again, she tells me, I said, what's the name of the person? She says, just pay your bill on time. Again, pretty disrespectful, right? So I said, okay, what's the name of your supervisor? She says, pay your bill, just pay your bill on time and there won't be a problem. So I said, look, I'm not a fuckwit. I'll pay the bill if you send me the bill. At that point, James Allen comes running around the corner, screaming at the top of his lungs, get out of here now! And I was startled. I thought somebody was robbing the place. So I turned around and, I saw that it was a deputy. So I turned back. She's got the title to my mother-in-law's vehicle, a vehicle title. I said, give me my stuff back then. She starts collecting my stuff. You can see the window. You can see that she's collecting my items. And he screams at the back of my head again, get out! So I said, look, I would if you'd shut the fuck up for a minute. I turn around. Cohen versus California says that you can say fuck in the courthouse. So the original reason for him to come running over screaming at me was a violation of my First Amendment rights. It was a violation of my Fourth Amendment right, and it was a violation of due process because he never did an investigation.
Sir, we weren't there that day.
I understand you
Wait a
weren't.
minute. I'm out. Do you agree that at this point you might have been very upset and had raised your voice?
No.
So you weren't yelling or cursing or anything like that?
Cursing is constitutionally protected behavior.
Sir, did you raise your voice?
No.
Anytime during the process?
When I was speaking to her?
Attention.
To get his attention? Or her attention?
Either one.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, continue with your story.
So Alan's screaming at me. I said, shut the fuck up, whatever. He gives me the paperwork. He says, you can't talk to me like that, as I'm stepping out the door. I've got my property now that he tried to strong arm rob me of. I turn around. I said, actually, because you can't talk to me like that. I have a First Amendment right to do so. So I turn around. I said, actually, you can't talk to me like that. This is how my body was, like that. See, he was approximately where that bush is. Is that threatening?
We weren't there.
You weren't there. Right.
All we have is your...
Right. But the video would have shown whether or not it was threatening, right?
What video?
The video, 6 different video cameras in the courthouse.
No.
Right. If you are going to arrest me, you have to collect evidence, right?
Not necessarily.
You don't
contact the sheriff when this happened?
I did. He ignored
What did they say?
They didn't do anything. Here's the thing. You put me in jail. You didn't have any legal case. You did it as extrajudicial punishment. I'm thinking that the Saluda County Sheriff's Office, the Saluda County government, and the Saluda County Court are all working in violation of the Constitution in order to deprive the people of Saluda County of their life, liberty, and property, and just letting you all do whatever you want and act violent to them.
James Allen is no longer...
I understand, but John Silcox is.
Wait a minute.
No,
he's not. As a matter of fact, he left, about 6-7 months ago.
Where does he work now?
You have to find out from him.
Sir, again, I'm Lieutenant Weaver, okay, with the police department. I advise you to let your attorney handle it, okay? But as of right now, they want you off the premises, okay?
So you're trespassing me from the council building?
No, what I'm telling you is that
public property?
you have to leave. They're asking you to leave.
Do they have a right to ask?
Yes,
They do. They do.
I don't really want to be here. Sir, do they have a right to ask me to leave public property?
Ma'am, can you give, I've been listening to this whole thing. What is the reason, just for my understanding, what's the reasoning that he's being asked to leave?
They asking him to leave because the guy he went in to talk to said that he felt threatened because he was raising his voice, and he stood up when they were talking, and he felt like he was threatening in his body language to him, so he asked them to leave.
Understood. So just so for my understanding, I'm are you guys asking him to leave, or are you ordering him to do so?
We're telling him that he has to leave.
Sir, isn't ask, tell, make an escalation of force?
So, okay, so Mr. Coltis, let me be clear. They're not threatening to trespass you. They're not saying they're going to trespass
No, we're
you.
not.
They are saying,
We're just asking him to leave.
Okay, so I don't
Correct.
have to leave. What happens if I don't leave? What happens if I do not leave?
Sir, is that your attorney?
This is my attorney, yes. What happens if I do not leave?
His office and y'all talk it out.
Right, but I don't have to.
Sir,
You're telling me to.
Sir, I'm making a suggestion.
I know it's a suggestion.
You would have an attorney.
So we're asking you to leave.
Right.
And he wants you to leave.
Right.
Now, if he says that he don't want you here, then that at that point is trespassing, and he's asking you to leave.
So you're threatening to trespass me.
He doesn't want you here.
No, sir.
We're asking you to leave.
Sir, are you getting all this?
Mr. Coltis. Mr. Coltis.
Yes.
Here, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, they've given you very clear instructions that you should leave. You're not doing so. I agree with them that you should leave. If you don't do so, unfortunately, you'd be violating our terms of service, and I'll have to disconnect this call.
Okay. All right. Thank you,
day,
sir. Don't they have to abide by the Constitution? I haven't done anything.
They do. Again, they asked you to leave. The council member, whether he was right or not, said that he felt some type of way. They asked you to leave. They weren't threatening to trespass you. But at that point, they have a right to ask you to leave the premises. You have a right to go back. You can turn around and go right back in. But they can come back and do the same thing again.
Right. But that's pretty much just to circumvent the Constitution of the United States, isn't it?
Again, I'm just going by what they said.
Right. But I mean, what law did I break?
Again, I don't know what their reasoning was. Like I said, they asked you to leave.
Right, but asking me to leave is part of ask, tell, make, which is escalation of force.
Again, that is not in my purview. I'm just here to provide you assistance with the law enforcement officer.
Okay.
So again, if you think you need to file a lawsuit against Saluda or Saluda County, you should contact a local civil rights attorney and do that. But I would just advise that if this happens again and you need to go back and get information, you either take an attorney with you, or if the police ask you to leave, do so that they don't escalate the situation further. And if you want to file a civil rights lawsuit, you're more than welcome to do so.
Okay. Do you think my civil rights were violated just now when they were asking me to leave when I hadn't broken any laws?
Again, I can't advise you on that. I can just tell you that the police, in my opinion, didn't act outside the scope of their purview. Whether or not their presence there was a violation of your rights in terms of the city council member, that's something you need to take up with the local attorney.
Okay. All right. Well, your name is
correct.
All right. And I appreciate your help.
Of course. I like I said, if you it sounds like you have a lot going on in Saluda County. If you contact a local attorney and bring it up, they'll be able to give you more direct assistance.
I'll be honest. This happened 2 years ago. I've been trying to get an attorney. No one wants to take the case, and I'm not sure why that is.
Lawyers have all kinds of reasons for taking or not taking cases.
Okay. I'm assuming it probably had something to do with the money or the whatever, but all right.